little jet sweep to start the drive. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Herbert. Throw right side is into the hands of his tight end, Everett. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. This defense for the Dolphins, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
And they needed to be because their offense struggled throughout the game. Sometimes as a defense, you're not just shutting down the opposing team's offense, but you have to outplay their defense as well, and that's what they did in their last game.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Here's Herbert. Got his man. It's Williams. And he's brought down short by a yard. It's a 3rd down gain of 4.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Now Hill to return it. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10, right at the 30. Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. He finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll run with Edmonds again. And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
An extra defensive back on the field for the Chargers now on 3rd down. Tua going to throw. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And he is going to have the Dolphins 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
From just shy of midfield, Tua. And the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and long. Now the Chargers are going to look up here and signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter.
Here we go.
The Chargers trot out their dime package, expecting a throw on 3rd down. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
Against a team coming off a win just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And they'll let this one go right on the outskirts of the 10. They'll down it at the 11-yard line.
I don't know why, but it's always agonizing to me to see a guy make a mistake in this phase of the game because it's all on him. All eyes there. He's got a chance to make a punt return, and instead he ends up putting it on the carpet.
Puts it on the carpet, the little rubber pellets shoot up. Never a good sign for a returner on this field turf surface.
No, not at all. And a bunch of them go up when they're all trying to get to the football, don't they? This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Play action. It's Herbert. Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Rowe. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. So first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. After the turnover, it's Tua. Being chased out left. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. So that was a very nice play, Charles, from a very speedy cornerback.
And you can just see that whole play developing. That's where, as a defender, you just lock in on your target and say, I'm not even thinking about breaking stride. I'm running straight for the belt buckle because where it goes, that's where you find his body. And he was able to get in there and make a great play.
And if you're looking for proof of his speed, Next Gen Stats shows that he was traveling just over 21 miles an hour there. To throw again on 2nd down. Tua. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
And to give them an instant to react, it was a classic case of if you blink, you missed it. Off of the line and to the quarterback in just a couple of seconds. Running back will have a moment to react and attempt to throw a block.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And the Chargers are going to take over at their own 11-yard line.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that 3rd down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you've got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
The Charger drive about to get going. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. It's Eckler again, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9. They went with the run-pass option, and I don't know if the option really mattered there because the defense was ready.
So many times you put the defense at a disadvantage because you have those multiple options, but when they read their keys and play it correctly, sometimes the result goes in their favor.
The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. No score after 1 on EA Sports. come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Going to throw on third down with Herbert. And that's into the hands of Eckler. And he does not get to the first down marker as they stop him at the 19. So the completion good for 7 there. And it'll be fourth down. On fourth down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Spins away. Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return. And it will be first and 10 as they take over.
Here we go.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And, partner, I know so far, we're still in the first half, but you love this game as a defensive guy. 0-0. We'll see if the offense can get going on this drive.
Well, you know how they talk about music to your ears? How about what it does for your eyes when you watch something like this, right, where these teams are locked in and going at it, no points going up on the scoreboard? I'm loving it. You're exactly right.
Well, switch over, though, to an offensive mindset for a moment. What do they need to do here to get on track and get some points?
Well, I think a couple of ways. Number one, you pull out something maybe they haven't seen before. Coaches always talk about unscouted looks. Maybe you give them something that they haven't seen on tape, and now you shock them that way. The second, run your basic playbook, but run it so well that you give your skill position guys a chance to make big plays individually. And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
They'll run on first down. Edmonds. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. He completes it to Wilson. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. The offense on third down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're looking at third and a few inches. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Edmonds. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down, at least at first glance, as he'll spot the football just beyond the marker. They find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you should have a few men in the back.
The pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down. Well, the number one mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Tua, he finds his man, complete. That's Knight. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 26. A new set of downs after a strong pickup of 16 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Tua. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Jones. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. Coming up on a 2nd and 6. Tua sets up to pass it. Got his tight end. That's complete. That's Knight. And the Dolphins are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Here we go now on 1st and goal. Edmonds has it knocked loose and picked up by the Chargers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
You know how often we hear about the red zone, right? From the 20-yard line going in, that scoring zone, getting points on the board. A lot of teams call from the 10-yard line in the green zone. That's your money zone. He fumbles the ball inside the money zone. You have one job, take care of the ball. That didn't happen.
The Charger drive about to get going. They'll take over deep in their own end after the fumble recovery as they start 1st and 10. Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down. And the ball is knocked out. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
Do you remember in preseason when we were going to the different training camps and visiting teams, and we always would see the running backs working out and going through those gauntlet drills, and, you know, guys either slapping at the ball or the machines. You got to learn to take care of it.
Yeah, they lost it there. Big fumble. Following the fumble recovery, here's Tua. Open man is Waddle, complete. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. That's out to the flat for Edmonds. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now
he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Chase Edmonds, his 3rd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and it's now a 7-0 game.
Chargers, nothing.
The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. Pringle going to stay in the end zone, and this will come out to the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. And with just under a minute to go, they might try to think about mounting a drive here if they can and get in the end zone. Could potentially tie this game up. They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
It's a pickup of 6.
From the 31, Herbert.
At the 31-yard line.
Man open. That's Byron Pringle complete. Chargers going to use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Charles, to move the chains that time, they had to complete it into double coverage, and they got it done.
And it's never easy overcoming multiple defenders, but he sure made it look simple. Found the right spot to exploit and won his one-on-two matchup.
After the run, now Herbert to throw. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for second and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it third manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. A Miami first down on the 14-yard pickup.
That's a pretty throw right there. That ball's in the air a long time, but it's right on the money on the right sideline. A really good route. Moving the defenders towards the middle of the field before breaking to the sideline. What a completion there. Big-time arm strength. Very nice route.
Touchdown, Dolphins. Tyreek Hill in the final seconds of the first half. And the Dolphins will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And it's now 14-0.
14, Chargers, nothing.
So not much time to work with here. 9 seconds remain in the half as this one is away. From his end zone is Byron Pringle. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And they will set up shop red zone territory at the 13-yard line. So problems compounding themselves here on the return. They just give up the touchdown, and now they lose the football.
Yeah, partner, things are starting to unravel a little bit for them right in front of our eyes. They're going to be looking for some answers and quickly.
So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
From the end zone, here's Pringle. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. No run back here to begin the half, and we will start at the 25-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. This offense set to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one, so now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game, and down the stretch, being able to be balanced. Either throw it or run it and try and win this ball game.
Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Now a run straight ahead with Edmonds. And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Here we go, set. On the ball. Hey, complete.
Here's Tua. And his throw is incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Nasir Adderley. And the Chargers are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. Pretty much everything went their way offensively in the first half, but now an interception on the opening drive of the third quarter.
As we know, the key to everything here, don't get careless with the football. The problem is you've got to stay aggressive as well. So where's the line between being aggressive and attacking and being overly aggressive? I think they just crossed it on that one.
Taken down at the 42. That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
They give a lot of credit to that defensive front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional. In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now it's Herbert. He'll drop this one off to Eckler. And he's got some space here. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A gain there of 21 yards.
That turns into a very well-orchestrated play right there. Going to work his way out of the backfield to the right. And after he looked it in, he found plenty of space to roam and picked up big yardage.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 37-yard line. Herbert jet sweep as he taps it forward. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Here's Herbert. Caught left side, Williams. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 17-yard line.
To the air again, Herbert. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up 3rd down.
And we all know how talented this guy is who's calling the signals for him. But even the best in the game, they can struggle against a good, cohesive zone coverage. Can't find a gap in the secondary quick enough, and he ends up taking a sack.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Back to throw here, Herbert. Got an open man, it's Pringle. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Running on first down, Eckler. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back.
And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. Herbert. Over the middle, complete. It's Williams. And, oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
Herbert going to keep it on his sneak. The decision to go for it pays off, and now they're set up 1st and goal.
Well, you just totally get the sense there that a field goal was not in the game plan at all.
And the boys up front, they created the surge. I think they knew that they had the leverage advantage.
Oh, that's a great point there. Being able to get lower than the defensive front, create just enough space. And I love when those quarterbacks get low and slide in there and get it done.
So it'll be a change of possession on the turnover when we get back. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Eckler will score. Touchdown, Chargers. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you kept them at the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Now all of a sudden we've got an interesting game here. You just saw them go down and score a touchdown. And what was a comfortable lead at halftime, it's down to a 2-score game.
And so the obvious thought is they've got to ramp things back up again. Got to get the offense into high gear. But we've seen this before. When you've kind of been in shutdown mode for a while thinking that you're okay, it's hard to mash the gas again and have everything work perfectly. They've got to fashion together a good drive right here and now.
Because defensively, got to be feeling confident. They haven't allowed a point this half. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding goal.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
On 2nd down, Tua. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and give the football right back because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Knight. It's a big play there for Miami. And even 40 yards.
I would say just add that one to the total of big plays he's already made here in the first month of the year. You've got to think the front office and the coaching staff have got to be excited about what they've seen so far and really excited about what they expect to see down the road.
Now a give to Edmonds. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to third down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
He's now just 3 yards shy of 197 yards receiving on the contest and a first down. On the handoff, it's Edmonds. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try to throw through contact and shorted the sticks.
Tua going to throw. He is going to find Hill here. Touchdown! Tyreek Hill, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Dolphins are closing in on a third straight win as they widen the gap further here in the fourth quarter. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. From the end zone, here's Pringle. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Chargers take over first and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. They started on the ground with Eckler. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. After the pickup of 5, here's second and 5.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up second and 5.
A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 27 yards there, a first down.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
So now first and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 49-yard line. Man open left side, it's Williams. Room here to run. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
A gain of 23 more yards.
On first and 10, Herbert. And this one's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, second and 10. Herbert back to the air. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. The Chargers on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 15. Throwing left side, it's complete. And they are able to stop it, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Justin Herbert looking to pass. A quick hitter complete. It's Williams. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal. Herbert now. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Javon Holland. He's at the 50, 30, 10, 5, and he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown.
Well, just to add that to the list of great moments for this defense today. They've really shredded that game plan on the other side all 4 quarters. And, Charles, that pick 6, that's kind of the cherry on top.
Yeah, they did it, and I feel like I'm quoting a bad movie line, but they did it together, didn't they? Fed off of each other, every big play they made, every tackle, every pick, everything they've done. They continually built energy in this one, and how about them culminating with a pick 6?
And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
They're on 24-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
So they move from 136 over to the other as they come up on 1st down. Play action this time for Justin Herbert. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And, oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the Dolphins are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. Well, I mean, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here and maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Okay, ready?
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Again, they run with Edmonds.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Ready?
They fake the handoff. Now Tua. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Here's James returning. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. One last throw here for Herbert. Throw left side complete. That's Williams. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins.